to the PlanetRoq podcast, the hottest show in the cosmos. Get ready for insight and inspiration right here on PlanetRoq with your special guests, Glenda Moten Rutledge and Kevin Joseph Rutledge. And your cosmic guide through our ever-changing space and time, I'm your host, Raquel Herring.
Welcome to the PlanetRoq podcast, your go-to spot for all things relationships, personal growth, and navigating life's journey. I'm Raquel Herring, your cosmic guide, right here on PlanetRoq as we explore every facet of human connection, from the depths of dating, marital dynamics, to the heights of spiritual journeys, entrepreneurship, money, and more. We explore every facet of human connection, even pets and plants. Each episode of PlanetRoq is packed with insights and inspiration to help you thrive in this ever-changing world. We're here to empower you and uplift your spirit. Join us every Thursday at noon on envision-radio.com for real talk with real people, sharing heartwarming stories and candid conversations. Catch the premiere video replay of all PlanetRoq episodes on YouTube at my channel, Raquel Herring, every Saturday. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates. Follow me on social media and visit raquelherring.com to stay connected. Now let's rock your world one relationship at a time right here on PlanetRoq. Today on PlanetRoq, we are going to explore the theme of marriage, career, and building a strong foundation. We are delighted to welcome Glenda Moten Rutledge, an inspiring educator with 24 years of experience in the Miami-Dade County public school system. As a curriculum support specialist and founder of The Pen of a Writer, LLC, Glenda has made significant contributions through her influential books, Hopes and Fears, Learning Academically in a COVID-19 Environment, and I Read, I Think, I Write, which has been featured in Time Magazine, the Miami Herald, and more. Beyond her educational work, Glenda is a certified professional life coach and founder of the Hope and Aspirations Foundation, dedicated to improving the lives of teenage mothers. Her mission is to inspire, equip, and empower educators and students beyond the classroom. And joining the conversation is Glenda's husband, Kevin Joseph Rutledge, a distinguished music educator and community leader. A Miami native, Kevin holds degrees in music education and music business and entertainment industries from Howard University and the University of Miami. With over 3 decades of teaching experience, Kevin has been honored 3 times as Teacher of the Year in Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Currently, he serves as a curriculum support specialist and minister of music for the Universal Truth Center for Better Living. Kevin's dedication to music extends to directing choirs such as the MDC Gospel Choir and mentoring young boys through the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence program. His contributions to the South Florida community have earned him numerous accolades. So together, Glenda and Kevin have cultivated a harmonious balance with successful careers and building a strong, supportive marriage. I'm going to explore their journey, insights, and advice on maintaining a flourishing partnership, both personally and professionally. Welcome to PlanetRoq. How are you today?
It's always interesting, to hear it. Great.
Thank you so much for joining the show. So I want to talk about being married. I was married. I wrote a book about it. Well, some of it. I wrote a book about being in the entertainment industry, following up the unstoppable journey of a tear. Had to plug it, get it on Amazon. Okay, so how long have you all been married?
How long, Kevin? Let's see.
Since November last year. November 18th, yes. So we're newlyweds.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yes.
Because y'all newlyweds,
Uh-huh.
okay? Have y'all been married before? Is this your first marriage?
Oh, yes. No,
No, that's not the first marriage, but
not the
we have been
first,
married. Yeah, not the first.
Okay, all right. That's all right, though. You
but
know, we
it's the
get
last. But it's the last.
That's right. The last, praise God. Oh my gosh, I love it. I mean, because, I want to get married too. And, I'm not like 20 anymore. So, you got to, there's new things now. You learned about yourself. There's new things. Look, we'll talk about that. Okay, look, I'm trying not to get excited too much because I want to stick with, what I was going to talk about and the
Oh
questions
my.
and all. All right, we're going to come back to this marriage thing, though, for sure.
Yes.
Okay. As educators, authors, and as community leaders, how do you balance your demanding careers with maintaining a strong marriage since November?
Well, we had some spirited discussions.
Okay.
Even prior to our committing to one another, we understood that we were two busy people who enjoyed serving the community and serving mankind with our unique gifts. And for me, I was so proud that God gave me a wife that had aspirations for great work that paralleled what I did. Uh,
Mhm.
when we began to get a little more serious about where we were going with our relationship, we talked about both about the work that we each do and how it can impact our relationship, our partnership, and continue to impact the community. I often tell people that my wife was a whole professional before I met her. Um, and all we did was come together and provide added support for one another. So,
Mhm.
and I think that also drew us together, that we were two people who aspired on a regular basis to just become
Mhm.
better at being the best us we could be.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the fact, my husband, Kevin, would often say, follow me as I follow God. And he's
Mhm.
minister of music. I'm a minister as well. And so I think that when you have a combination of that coming together, it just makes it a little bit, easier. We're able to connect in ways just unimaginable. Normally we have this mantra that we say that, how does it go, baby?
We
The
are the sum total of all of our experiences.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the sum total of our experiences have brought us to our now.
Us to our now,
And
right?
right, so it was like
That's it.
wow, and we spoke that standing out in front of the car one night, and it's like, Glenda, the sum total of our experiences. That means everything that we've experienced have brought us to our now. So I just love it. I mean, I love being married. We call ourselves a senior seasoned married couple,
I
and
love that.
yes,
I
yes.
love that. Like, what inspired you both, like separately? Before you met, were you wanting to get married? And then what inspired you at this stage in your lives to like come together and make that happen?
Well, failed relationships, just going back and forth and seeing some of the same things that a lot of other women experience. And
Mhm.
I decided that, didn't want to go down that path anymore, that it was important for me to just seek the Lord and just wait. Some of us, we want it quick, bam, bam, microwave, we want to have it over and like done with. But I decided to wait. And so both Kevin and I work for the same department, but we work in different entities of the company. And so basically, he has seen me throughout the years. We've known each other because we both do professional learning
Okay.
workshops and stuff like that. And so it just really worked out well. We were paired together to come together to actually do a professional learning workshop. So that's what we did. And we met and we talked and we put everything together, not knowing that soon thereafter that I was actually sent on another job assignment for like 6 months. So the way that we communicated was that we basically would have lunch. But the key to it all is this, Raquel, is
Okay.
that when we initially started out, it was, work, 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 work. Yes. And then we would, every now and then it says, hey, let's have lunch and let's have dinner. But the lunches, we would start off like at 12 noon in the afternoon, and we wouldn't leave the restaurant till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And even when we walked outside, it was still conversations going on. So we knew that there was something that was special there. And so it's, for us, it's a love story because we're both older. And when you find that someone that can make you laugh, that can spark that interest and that love and that joy. I mean, I always had it myself because, we like to be independent, but it's nothing like when you have a husband that can back you up all the way, that can pray for you, that can stand in the gap for you, that can understand. And so we don't have arguments, period. We have what we call a clarifying discussions. So
I like that.
So for your listening audience, it's like if we need to talk about something, I say, sweetheart, I think we need to have a clarifying discussion.
Yes.
That's how I approach it.
And when we started out, there were several opportunities of clarification. And I was like, oh, again, another clarifying moment.
Okay, I like it.
But yeah. It's like, whoa, more clarification. Okay.
That's right. But we must get clear.
Yes. And that comes along with, two people coming together and learning one another. But after a while, and really pretty quickly in our relationship, we found that we understood more about ourselves than we thought. So we really we don't have to have a whole lot of clarifying discussions. Sometimes it's like, what pillows, do you want over here, or what, stuff like that. But what I must say that I really believe that this is my first real marriage.
Oh wow!
I've been married before, because God has given me a wife that honors me, honors my work, and supports me. And lets the world know that, listen, this is my husband. I follow him, but I also let the world know that this is my queen. She's my queen. And what is interesting with our relationship and our professionalism is that we do work in the same general space.
Okay.
However, there are days when we would ride in together and we would see each other in the morning, and then we would see each other again at the end of the day. And we're on the same floor. So we had, one of our clarifying discussions was centered around our deportment at work.
Okay.
How are we going to carry ourselves? A lot of our colleagues were at our wedding. They really supported us. But, you always want to make sure that you don't abuse the opportunities at work. So we are very respectful of the space. We love everyone that we work with, but we love each other. And I honor that we respect each other, to give each other the space professionally at work to do what we do best. And then we come back and really we have spirited discussions when we get home. Share what happened in your office, what happened, and then we laugh, we compare. Sometimes we minister to one another.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a great pairing. Go ahead,
Mr. Rutledge. What was it that inspired you to get married? Like, where were you in life, and you were like, yeah, I want to do this?
I was in hell. I was in Egypt, and I needed to get out of Pharaoh's house.
Okay.
And I had to take that trek on to Canaan. And but I was in a situation where a failed relationship. That and what I honor Glenda most for is that we can talk about our past situations, because remember, I had to remind my wife that if my former did not do what she did, we wouldn't be together. So
Yeah.
it may have felt painful and uncomfortable, but what it did, it helped me to learn a lesson that I needed to learn. And remember, I agreed to be in that relationship with her, so I bear some of the weight of the circumstances. However, when it was time to go, I hit the road, and I hit the hey. So that's what brought us together. And as we spoke, we found that we had a lot in common. We attended the same elementary schools.
Whoa.
We grew up in the same, relatively in the same neighborhood. At one point, she attended the same church that I started my musical career in. And I'm like, wait a minute, where were you? Look at here. And then so we had a lot of commonalities that just kind of brought another a sphere of specialness to our growing relationship. Yeah.
Wow. So you two.
And
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was saying, Glenda doesn't remember it, but some years ago she led a professional learning experience that I was a student in the class, and she said, I don't remember that. I remember. I said, you know what? I hear everybody talking about Glenda Moten because she was in a magazine or so and so and so, and then later I knew she was looking at me. She just tried to act like she didn't. but no, right. So she's a phenomenal teacher, phenomenal presenter, and I was, I guess, a student of hers before we got to this level. So yeah.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness. How did you two, okay, so you all have known each other. Well, you were around each other for a long time, but when you guys officially met, that was at work.
We met, we were, our supervisor paired us to prepare a presentation for a conference that we were hosting. And we had a particular course that we were putting together to share with educators. And it wasn't by accident. I just believe this was divine intervention, and God brought us together. And we came together to create content and create a PowerPoint presentation.
And how long ago was that?
That was January, last January. Yeah, last January.
January?
Yeah, last January.
All right, let me go back over this again. You all got married in November of last year.
Yes.
Right.
The first time you guys officially connected or worked together was in each other's space.
January.
Was January.
2020.
What? Last year. Okay, let's talk about this.
It's a love story, Raquel. It's a love story.
Please tell me, how did y'all get from January to November?
Well,
go ahead, babe.
Okay, so basically, like I said, January, right? And so the very first day that we presented, I was told that I was being deployed out to a location. So I wasn't, it was like that afternoon, that was that. So it was 6 months from January until June. But during that particular time, we would meet, we would have lunch and dinner and so forth and so on like that. And then we were going to a conference in June of 2023. And so I asked him if I could ride with him, and he said, sure. And so, we went there, and I said, well, make sure we have some good music because he sings and everything. And so it seemed like we got to Orlando because that's where it was so fast. It was like quick.
Never turned on the radio.
Yeah. And so we never turned on the radio. We were just talking the whole time. So while we were there, we took all of our classes together. He was just very attentive, and we had an opportunity to really have some deep conversations. We even had dinner. We were there with other colleagues, but we had dinner as well off the site. It's a Disney, property and stuff. And so basically, I just asked him, I told him, I said, look, I don't believe in such and such and such. Do you think you can commit? Because, I just wasn't really didn't want to go through all this foolishness. It's like either you want to be in a committed relationship or you don't. And that's
Right.
what some people do and some people don't.
Yeah.
And so he said, you know what? He said, yeah, I can. I believe that's what you said, right, babe? And so from that point on, now this is the kicker. We were there a whole about 4 or 5 days, and then on the way coming back, he said, Glenda in the car, he says, how does December sound? I said, well, what's happening in December? And then he turned, he says, will you marry me? And
Oh my goodness.
I looked and I says, of course I will. And that's how that. Look at it.
You got the violin.
So
Oh my
the bottom
God.
line is that we had to, break down 2 houses and just put everything together. So we were married within 6 months.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, how did you know it was right? I mean, it was such a short time, right? How did you know?
Everything just pretty much aligned. I mean, it's like even down to my wedding dress. That was like really an expensive wedding dress. I had bought one dress, I held it on hold, and then I bought 2 other. I got rid of those, and then I went back to David's Bridals again and found another dress, and then I brought the original dress back. And so they were like, I said, well, can you fix this and this and that? And I will tell you, Raquel, no, seriously, even down to the dress. I mean, I walked out paying, the dress was like over $1,600, marked down to $8. When I brought the other dress back and they made some adjustments to the wedding dress itself, I ended up spending less than $175.
What?
Yes. I had my shoes, the dress. I mean, they even threw in extra things for me, like the veil, just different things. And then we would pray and we would just spend time, in the word. And it was just, you know when you know.
You just know.
And in helping Glenda to understand, the focus was not on spending a whole lot of money on a wedding. It was about really starting our life together. Yes. I am blessed that we were able to get married in my mother's former church. My mother passed away many years ago, but we were married in her church, and it was a beautiful event. It was from top to bottom. But even during our preparations, and I knew that we were meant to be together, because when I would make recommendations to Glenda, sometimes she kind of bucked at first, and then I think she went into prayer and thought about it, and she would come back. She said, you know what? I do see it. I see it the way you see it. I understand where you're going, and I know what kind of future we want. We are, I guess, seniors, you could say.
We're seniors.
And hey, look, we have to tell people that, because normally when they see us, they don't believe it.
They don't believe the age at all.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Again, just realizing that what we want to do is to make sure that when our careers transition to the next phase, that we can do the things that we've always dreamed to do. And when we sat down and looked at the combination of our resources, we found that we do pretty good together. We're not hurting. Yeah, we do pretty good. And I had a plan for our finances, and my wife acquiesced and supported. And I think she's seeing we're beginning to see the fruits of the plan, even right now. So I've never had a wife that really supported me with the planning of our future. And so right there, that was really something that just connected us. And then Glenda would say, you know what, I've never had a husband that planned, that really planned effectively. Yeah. So here it is. We had areas that we desired support in, and we found it. And that's
wonderful. Oh my gosh, I love hearing it. Yes. You found each other where you could build together.
Yes.
That's it.
You know,
That's it.
and
Yes.
it's incredible because now it's at this time in your life that you find each other, and
Yes.
you believe, and you still have like years, you have time to build and to build together.
Yes. Hmm.
I like it.
Yes. Yes.
Share with us some of the biggest challenges you guys faced, and together, coming together, if there were any, or being together now, and how have you overcome them?
Challenges. I really, I don't see any challenges. One good thing is I have children, and my
Nice.
children are grown,
Yes.
grown and gone. Okay,
Hmm.
and um, generally, I didn't see any challenges.
Okay, good.
We haven't experienced that. We both bring. I'm not that husband that says that I must control everything. And no, my wife was independent when I met her. Hello,
Hmm.
somebody. She doesn't need a
Yes.
boss. I don't own her. She doesn't
Yes.
own me. We
Hmm.
support one another, and I think that's really, really
Good.
important to bring out. That I
Yeah.
don't own Glenda.
Yes.
Glenda has chosen to say yes to me
Yes.
when I asked her to marry me. So
Yes.
as a marriage, it's a partnership, and really, I don't financially. It was easy. Listen, babe, I pay all the bills. The bulk of your money goes into savings, and it's been. And listen, when I said that, I said, listen, before we do that, listen, there are some things I do expect. Whatever your beauty needs are, that's in the budget. Your
Hmm.
hair, your nails, your toes, whatever you need to do,
Yeah.
that's in the budget. Now, and then the other money that goes into our goal account. But you have a husband that I'll pay the bills. I got
Yeah.
this, and I have it enough where I can pay the bills and have some little pocket change. You know,
Amen. Amen.
but
Yeah.
but she needed to know that what, hey, I don't have to budget my beauty needs. It's an expectation of my husband, and he supports me. So I don't see. I'm just thrilled. Listen, we're both educated. We both have graduate degrees, so we're compatible.
Yes.
We both present. We both are always in front of audiences, impacting them with what we present. But I don't even think it was a challenge, even as to will we stay at her place or my place. And she was like, I go with my husband, and and I think that really wasn't. We didn't even have to talk about that long.
No,
Good. Yeah.
So far, I
Awesome.
haven't seen any challenges.
Challenge.
Growing together as two people
Hmm.
beginning to live together.
Yes.
Those are
Yes.
only things. Of getting accustomed to patterns and habits and that kind of stuff.
Yes. I love it. What strategies do you use to support each other's professional and personal growth?
Go ahead, babe.
Oh, well, for example, he needed me to handle something for him today regarding a project that he had been working on. He said,
Right.
baby, look at this. I need you to do this for me. I said, okay, fine. So I came home, prepared dinner, we ate and everything. And I sat down and I did what I had to do for him. And basically, he said, how you want me to send it? I said, I'd send it to you a message. I sent it to him. He said he'll look over it, etc. I've been up, so that's how we support one another.
Okay.
He is an excellent writer. He's a wordsmith, a master at it.
Oh, nice.
So there have been things that I've been acknowledged for and needed to apply for and so on and so on like that. And I would always run it by him because he's definitely going to correct it. And so much so that one of my friends said, tell Kevin I need to go to his university and get my degree back. Or she needs to go back and get her degree and come to school with him because when I say he is an excellent writer, he definitely is. So
That's wonderful.
So we support each other that way. Just numerous ways. It's like I never really cooked until I met Kevin.
Listen, and Raquel. Let's get on this. when we were combining houses, I noticed the kitchen looked really not, it was just clean. She says, clean because I'm never in it. So I'm like, what? So Glenda began to cook. And I remember one day I said to her, I said, you lied to me. She said, what do you mean I lied to you? I said, you said you couldn't cook. She said, no, I didn't. I didn't say I couldn't cook. I said, I didn't. I don't cook. And because I'm like, Mrs. Rutledge, you can slam. I mean, whoa. And I went to the doctor yesterday. I gained some weight. And I said to my doctor, I said, my wife cooks like air day. Not air day. She cooks. And he looked at me and I said, and I eat it too. So and I eat too. So it's been one of those things, man.
So what advice would you all give younger couples? I mean, even, like me, about maintaining a strong relationship while pursuing, their careers?
First of all, you really need to ask God to lead you to someone that understands your work. Mm-hmm. To thine own self be true. Mm-hmm. Just because we married, it does not take away from our first loves. Mm-hmm. And my first love was music. Mm-hmm. Glenda has a first love. I would promote that you vet your supposed partner. Mm-hmm. And vet them in their thoughts about what you do and your thoughts about what they do. Okay. I'm in a relationship where there are times within our relationship where I had to travel. So I had to go. And then there are times when my wife had to travel and leave me. So I know that and we both know that what we were doing was, aligned with our work. But for me, I was excited to know that, man, my wife is in Delaware this weekend speaking.
Yes.
The support that, the couple needs to give to each other, that really makes and breaks the relationship. Now, guess what? Many times when we meet, we lie. Oh, don't we lie? We lie because we want to try to get, we want to get that hookup. And then the true colors come out. Yeah. And you want to end up closing your coloring book. Keep your crayon. I have been through that where it's like, you know what? You said that and then you changed. Yeah. Said to my wife, that I can't take. No. And guess what? What I will not tolerate, I know that you will not tolerate it. So that I can't tolerate, I don't give. I'm here to support. We are at a good space in our lives, financially, professionally. Glenda's retiring and making her transition next year. I'm going to do another 4 years. I am a minister of music, so that means that weekends I'm still working. So my wife initially would visit my church, and then go to her church, and my work would not avail me the opportunity to always visit her church. And then she spoke to me and she said, you know what, dear, I want to be with my husband. I want to support my husband. And I said, well, now you really don't have to do that, because remember, I'm on the keyboard. We can't sit together. But my wife said, you know what, I still want to be in that space and I don't want to be divided. Now, that's really important for a couple for the persons to come together and say, we will worship together here. We work together here. And so I think what I picked up from my wife was that, you know what, at our ages, we need to spend as much time together as we possibly can. We've lost a year. Well, I don't want, no, let me take that back. We didn't lose them because we were not meant to be together before the time of our connection. That
Yes.
connection came at the right time. But finding a person that understands your craft, your gift, you understanding them, and supporting each other. Even when differences come about, both parties need to say, listen, this is how we will resolve issues. This is and there's no compromise. We will not go to bed angry. We will kind of find some kind of truce or some kind of agreement prior to going to bed, so that we will sleep in peace and wake up refreshed and restored.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. How do you keep the romance alive with your busy schedules?
You know what? Because we generally come home and we spend time together.
Yeah.
I mean, I try not. Okay, there was a time when I would just come home, take a shower, go to the next event. So I've scaled down a lot of extra things that I would commit to because I want to be home. Now, there are things that we do together, but it's about being together as much as possible. And that companionship, being there. I know that she had to trip. She tripped a little bit when we would be watching TV, and I would just put my head in her lap, you know. And I guess like, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. But yeah, we're kissy kiss. My wife is a kissy person. Oh my gosh, she's like, oh my. And sometimes at work, I gotta say, babe, look, hey, we're at work. So she's very affectionate. She shows it. My wife is affectionate, and that has helped me, because when you are a man that's been disappointed, sometimes you have to be restored. Restored and replenished. And that is one of the things that I really picked up from Glenda's spirit, that she poured into me even when I didn't feel good about myself. She poured into me. And even while I'm at church playing, she'll send an inspirational message regarding a song that we may have just completed. It's important. Yeah, little notes. You know, or if she leaves, sometimes we ride together, and many days we drive separate cars because of our different teams. And she'll send a message saying, listen, to the most
amazing husband.
Amazing husband. I wish you the best for the day. Yeah. She does that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it go ahead.
It's like support, attention, PDAs, you know, just loving all the time. There's like no breaks. And because some people, like, they don't want to show any PDAs. They don't send the notes. They're kind of distant. When they're not together, we're apart, you know, and that just makes no sense to me. That means, like, you know, how does that work? I mean, it makes no sense. You want to be together all the time, even when you're not in the same room together. I love that. What are some of your favorite activities? I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
Oh, no, go. I said thank you.
What are some of the activities you guys enjoy doing together that keeps you connected?
Traveling. Listen, listen. Well, just before we married, you know, and this is stuff that I just wasn't accustomed to doing, because I said, babe, you got a hard guy here. You're gonna have to help him. And I'm not the party planner, but I know that you are. But God just dropped in my spirit. I said, babe, listen, we're going to lunch today, but no, we're going to take Brightline to Palm Beach and have lunch at Palm Beach. Have you ever been on Brightline? No, I haven't. So we went, the Aventura station. Brightline is a train. A high-speed train that services really from Miami to Orlando now. And so we took the Brightline and we went to Palm Beach. I could have driven. We both have luxury cars, but just to leave the drive to someone else, and it was romantic, just to cuddle together, go and have lunch in Palm Beach, walk around, and come home. And So those kind of things. And recently we did a field trip. We went to Universal Studios,
Mm-hmm.
and it took premium class, first class, and just went up and spent a day spent a day in Orlando just
That's
to do something
awesome.
different. And remember
Yeah.
now, we could have driven, but it was the experience of allowing someone else to drive and just allow us to just be pampered. Yeah.
Love it. What role does family play in your relationship and professional lives? Because you both have children.
I don't have any children.
You don't have any children.
No, I don't
Okay.
have any children. Now, my mother's deceased. I lost 2 brothers, and I have 2 sisters. So, yeah, almost like
we share that.
Yeah, so we kind of share that. So,
yeah, we know our family. We have each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not bad.
No.
That's not bad.
Wow. Can you share some of the most memorable moments you've all had since being married? It's been since November. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. No. We've done a lot. When I performed for the Lynx Flip Side, and I performed, well, I'm always performing, but also when Glenda she's been honored. Oh gosh. She received a presidential
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Award. I mean, so it's like, babe, look at it. I do this, you support me there. You do this, and I support you there. So we've had several occasions where, we've both been honored, and just to know that the other is in the audience clapping. Both of us say Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Yeah, being a cheerleader. That's right.
Yeah. But it's so, for me, it is wow, because in my past relationships, it's always about you, Kevin. It's always about Kevin. It's Kevin. But you know what? You knew this when you met me. You knew the kind of work that I did. And come on. Well, now I have Glenda. And Glenda, my wife would say, Kevin, everywhere I go, they know you. We were somewhere. In the turnpike. We stopped at a plaza. Mr. Rutledge, what are you doing here? But I had to remind my wife that there are so many people that know her. And when we were getting close to our marriage, I visited my old school site, and I let them know that I was getting married. Oh, Rutledge, you getting married again? Man, well, got it. And she went off, and I said, well, first find out who I'm marrying. So she said, who you married? I said, I'm marrying Glenda Moten. Oh, no, Ms. Moten, that's my teacher. So I said, oh, my God, she is beautiful. Oh, she is the best. Oh, so now you approve. So she said, oh, and listen, she attended the wedding. So she was like, man, Rutledge, when are you going? No. First of all, you didn't live in my house, so you don't know my story. Yeah. So God gifted me with Glenda. So, and people know her, and they know me as well, because we do a lot of work empowering and enhancing the lives of people.
Yes. So you all are very active in the community. You have touched many people's lives. So you have, Glenda, you have this Hope and Aspirations Foundation.
Yes.
What motivated you to start it?
Well, actually, what happened is that God had laid it on my heart to do something for single mothers.
Okay.
And so I have the book. I don't think you mentioned it, but this would be the 3rd book. The first book was I Read, I Think, I Write. The second book was during the pandemic, Hopes and Fears, Learning Academic and COVID-19 Environment. And then the 3rd book is called Hope and Aspirations. What's actually called Love Lessons and Lullabies, Hope and Aspirations for Teen Moms. And so when I was like, wow, I said, okay. So I got it from up above.
Okay.
And then I wanted to use some students who were, the school for pregnant girls. But then I got a course correction, got a check in my spirit. And so I found 8 women who were teen mothers and who are very successful and influencers in their own right today. And
Okay.
so they wrote their stories. We had it published. And as a result of having that book published, I had what we call as a Teen Moms Empowerment Summit. And
Okay.
it was sold out. It was beautiful. And the ladies came forth to tell their stories about the trials and the triumphs and just different things that they experienced. And they didn't think that they were ever going to, when people tell you, they put their mouth on you, say you're never going to amount to anything and so forth and so on. And so it was beautiful inside and out. And so I just have a place in my heart for the forgotten ones, the ones that the parents cast them aside and say, you're never going to amount to anything. You're just like your daddy. You're just like your mama, and so forth and so on. And so they actually came together and they had a platform and a voice to tell their story. And so I was very, very pleased with that. And it was just a phenomenal event. And I would love to do, more. And so I decided that what I would do is developed this nonprofit called Hope and Aspirations. That's the title of it. But in addition to that, I have a magazine that's going to be coming out. It's called Teen Entrepreneurs Now. And so 10 will be under Hope and Aspirations because the focus primarily is on youth in Miami-Dade County and hopefully eventually at large in Broward and Palm Beach County. But we're focusing on the 4 pillars of excellence, and that will be mentorship, entrepreneurship, leadership, and internship. So any student, it could be an individual student or an organization of individuals who excel or aspire to do well in entrepreneurship, mentorship, leadership, and internship. The biggest thing that I'm working with is trying to get individuals or companies to buy into the vision so that we can find a place for these young people to express themselves and become productive citizens.
Yes, yes. So, like with the teen mothers, you work with some of them directly?
I did, but that project was done in 2022. 2022. After that, I did work with some, and so now it's kind of pretty much on hold because during the summer, my husband and our department is busy. When most teachers are out during the summer, we're not because we're district and we work 12 months. So I really haven't had too much of an opportunity to work with some of the teen moms, but I'm looking at getting that started back up again, and hopefully through the magazine where we can focus on some of them, and then bring those teen those mothers back so they can talk and say,
be mentors.
Right.
So like, have there been like any challenges that you faced even working with the Hope and Aspirations Foundation, and have you been able to address them like together, you two?
Well, actually, when I got deployed, I was sent after we, did our first presentation, and then I was sent away for 6 months to support teachers in a school. Well, to tell you the truth, Raquel, that was the perfect opportunity because I left every day at 1:30 because I was with first graders. So it gave me enough time in between to actually work, putting together the program for the Teen Empowerment Summit. I had my flyers, I had this, I had that. So I really did well with that. I also received money from the city of Miami that helped me offset some of the cost for the program. So I would say that the biggest, I wouldn't call it I would say challenge is really finding vendors to support that, because otherwise I took a lot of money out of my pocket to support the venue. And so even though I did have people that that support it, when you have to calculate everything, you want to make certain that you either break even or you get a little something. And so in this particular instance, I ended up spending a lot more out of my pocket rather than what I was bringing in. So so finances are the
that could be a challenge.
That's a big challenge.
Well, so were there any stories that stood out to you working with the women who were teen parents who will be mentors now?
Oh yes,
What story stood out that's like, whoa?
Actually, it's one of the church members. She has her own podcast. It's called Glam Rocks. She's a makeup artist,
Okay.
and she got pregnant at the age of 14 by
Wow.
by someone who was like 27. Um, and she hid the pregnancy the whole time. And basically, she was ashamed. And then she lost her mother, I think, when she was like 12 or 13. So being shuffled from home to home, etc. And basically, she really has done exceptionally well. She has a daughter. The daughter is doing well. She has a son. Unfortunately, she lost her older son to gun violence. Um, he was just riding a bike, in the neighborhood, and he was shot. And
Oh my.
so that took a toll. But besides that, I had an opportunity to speak with her most recently, and
Mhm.
she thanked me for. Actually, I was on her podcast, and so she thanked me for giving her the opportunity to be able to tell her story, and she no
Yeah.
longer had to hide, that because usually when there are teen mothers, there's guilt, there's shame, there's
Yeah.
disappointment, there are a lot of emotions and things that go on, and so the guests that were on, basically they were like, oh my gosh, and I was a teen mom, and I was a teen mom. So all it takes is one person to tell
Mhm.
their story. Everyone has a story to tell.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
it takes is one simple conversation. And from
Yeah.
that, these people, they weren't even in Miami. They were from all over the United States. And
Yeah.
they all chimed in and said, oh, that happened to me, and this happened to me, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
probably, so she was one that I definitely remember. And then another one who's my makeup artist, right? She talked about how, she got pregnant and this and that. And her husband was an excellent provider. But then, when you have kids and then you're struggling, and she is a really big time influencer. So all of them have done exceptionally well. But what I found out, Raquel, is just the whole process when we were putting everything together, is that when we first had our first meeting with all of the young ladies, none of us knew each other.
Okay.
I got recommendations. We came on, we did a Zoom. I'm doing
Uh-huh.
this project, da 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 da, etc. As they began to speak, it turns out that of the
Mhm.
eight of them, seven of them went to the same school. The
What?
same school, yes. So I knew then that God was in the midst of what was going on.
Wow.
Because as I said
Yes.
previously, as I was driving, I got a check in my spirit, a course correction. I said, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll get 8 women who were teen mothers and
Yeah.
to tell their stories. And
Yeah.
all of them are successful. But those are
That's so wonderful.
yes.
So, what are your plans and dreams for the future as a couple?
Well, as a couple, I will take it from here. Uh, my wife is
I love it.
my wife is retiring from her second
Career.
really long-term career.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right, because she spent several years with Delta Airlines,
23,
and
23 with Delta Airlines.
and this will be 24 with Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So
Wow.
yes, and she's retiring in June, next June.
Okay.
And as I stated earlier, I will continue for another 4 years,
Right.
and the goal is to just stack our money in a manner where we can really fulfill our bucket list items. And
Yeah.
the main items on the bucket list involve traveling,
Yes.
something that I have not been able to do extensively because
Yeah.
of my commitment to church on
Yes.
Sundays. So, I'm looking forward to the out of the country type trips,
Yes.
the trips that go beyond a week,
Right.
and not having to rush back because I have to make rehearsal or performances. But
Right.
that's one of the main things, and just enjoying going into business together and
Yes.
taking our coupleship to another level professionally
Yes.
Yes.
as the Rutledges. Mhm.
Yes. And you mentioned going into business together.
Yes.
Yes. Basically, what's going to happen is that I'm working on a couple of things, and in preparation for retirement, where I will be an educational consultant. So all of the skills and things that I've currently use now with the district, I plan to utilize them and come back to host conferences and things locally as well as abroad.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it. I want to live in other countries. Like, I don't know, 3 months, 5 months, you know, a year. You like, I really want to immerse myself in other cultures and like, what is that about? Like, I feel like the sun may shine differently in Italy. You know, when it hits my skin, it may just be like, it a little different, you know. I'm excited about that. I'm so excited for you all. Thank you so much for coming on the PlanetRoq podcast. I want to talk more about marriage and relationships. That's what I want to talk about. But I want to get and talk about you guys' professional lives together, because that's important too. And I thank you so much for being so transparent and just sharing your lives with us. And I hope you all will come back again and join us. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome, and we will be back.
Thank you.
Also to Ty as well. Thank you
so much.
So much. I'm so appreciative of this opportunity. And Raquel, you are a blast. I enjoy all of it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. You all come back next week for another episode of PlanetRoq.
What an awesome show full of insight and inspiration. Thank you to our guests and listeners. Look forward to hearing us next week on envision-radio.com at 12 noon, right here on PlanetRoq.